Dash the tea, Holmes. I'm waiting for some word from you.
About what?
Well, about the murder. Ever since we got back here, you've behaved as if nothing had occurred. And yet I'd wager anything that you're hot with some theory as to who's done it and why.
I'm afraid we've run out of Indian. I think we've got some china, if I can find it.
My guess is it's a cream passionel.
Are you ruling out the robbery motive? Trevor was left without a shilling.
Oh, that's just some sort of a smokescreen. After all, she... Good heavens, Holmes, what else do you think you're doing? Look, snake poison.
Oh, no, don't be silly, Watson. It's China tea. Disregard the labels. I ran out of tin.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yes, I'll stake my reputation on it. You'll get you, that is. Rather late for a caller. Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Hello, Zog.
Ah, hello, Wilkins. Good evening, Mr. Holmes, sir. I've got a message for you, sir, from Inspector Lestrade.
A welcome addition to the day. A message from the good inspector.
We've found another corpse, sir. It was in an empty house in Hammersmith this time. The facts are still the same. Robbery and strychnine poisoning.
Oh, is he one of the 7 who disappeared lately?
Yes, sir. How did you know?
Well, I suspect that the other 6 will end up in unoccupied houses before very long. I think you'd better carry out a search in every unoccupied house in London.
But this is July, sir, and everybody's away on holiday. The number of empty houses must be hundreds.
Well, it's that or wait until September when everyone comes back and finds his own corpse. It'll be a very unfortunate situation for the good inspector.
To say the least, sir. I'd better give the inspector your advice, sir.
Yes, you must let us know what he says.
That might be rather embarrassing. Good night, Mr. Holmes. Good night, Doctor.
Good night.
You know, Holmes, you were right. Trevor's disappearance was linked with the other 7. But what kind of fiend can be at the bottom of it?
Well, we'll know more about it when we return from Brighton.
Brighton?
Yes, unless you'd rather not pursue this any further. There's a 6:10 train leaving in the morning.
6:08. Why Brighton?
Because that's where R.J. Cookson lives.
The place is R.J. Cookson.
He's the man who owns the house in which Trevor was killed.
How on earth did you find that out? Oh, no, never mind.
It is tea, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was.
Have you ever heard anything so incredible? A corpse in my fireplace. And a stranger at that.
Rather inconsiderate of someone, I must say.
Why, when the police brought the news last night, I thought someone was pulling my leg. My fireplace. Really, I ask you.
I'd say because the murderer knew you'd be away, knew that the house would be unoccupied, and that you wouldn't come back at an embarrassing moment.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. Absolutely right. The culprit was acquainted with all my plans, and not wanting the corpse to be found in his own fireplace, chose mine.
Precisely.
But who could that be? I'd vouch that a full regiment of people knew of my plans to leave London.
Then our task is to narrow down that regiment.
But how? You have me breathless.
First of all, has anyone else the key to your house?
No, not that I know of. Yes. I once gave my key to the greengrocer to deliver a parcel.
Aha.
But he gave it back.
Oh.
But bosh and bother, supposing a key wasn't used at all. Whoever did it could have used a tool or something and jimmied his way into my house. I've heard of those things being done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
We found all the windows and doors locked.
I'm afraid you've escaped me.
Now again, Mr. Cookson, are you quite sure that no one else has a key to your house?
Well, now, really, after all, I don't hand them out like calling cards to every... Wait. There's this charwoman who comes to my house once a week to clean up. But, oh, no, she couldn't hurt a fly.
Well, what's her name?
Mrs. Enid. But really, she couldn't be less harmless. She's 60 years old if she's a day. You'd take her for your own grandmother.
Yes, but you know if she has a daughter.
Daughter? Well, now, really, a woman of 60 isn't bound to have a little girl.
Well, what about a niece or a granddaughter?
Granddaughter. Now that I think of it, she does have one. About 7 years old. She recently came to live with her.
Where does Mrs. Enid live?
I have her address. If you please. Right here in my trousers. Do you really think it could be the old woman?
Well, a charwoman has the ability to go anywhere in London.
Ah, yes. Wait. 322 Radcliffe Way.
322 Radcliffe Way.
To look at her, you'd never think she could hurt a fly. You'd take her for your own grandmother. Poison murders? No. Impossible, Mr. Holmes, impossible.
Oh.
Grandma, must we play the game tonight?
Of course. Don't you like playing it?
I don't like staying on the street alone.
It'll only be for a little while. You'll find someone to bring you back, and Grandma'll have company again.
What happened to the last company we had?
Oh, he went home after a while. But come on, let's say it. Where do you live?
At 67 Tivoli Road.
No, that was the last place. Your address is now 120 Claridge Street.
I forgot.
All right. Now, come on. Let's say it again. Where do you live?
120 Claridge Street.
And again?
120.
What do you think, Holmes? Well, we'll know definitely in an hour's time. Come on. Oh, hello. Oh, well, it's very late for a little girl like you to be out on her own. What's your name?
My name is Frances Elizabeth Wright.
I see. And where do you live?
I live at 120 Claridge Street. I'm lost.
Oh, dear. That would mistake you home. Come along, then.
You must come in and try some of my divinity fudge. It's the least I can offer you for your kindness in bringing Francis home.
Well, that's very kind of you, but really I ought to be getting along.
It's just been made. Delicious. You'll make an old woman very happy if you'll try the first slice.
Oh, very well, then. I am rather partial to divinity fudge.
Francis.
Thank you.
Now, come and sit right here at the table.
Thank you.
Now, say good night to the kind gentleman, then off to bed.
Grandma, you never let me stay up with a company.
That's because little girls must have their sleep. But now we've met the gentleman, perhaps he'll come again in the daytime.
Will you?
I should love to.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, birdies.
Isn't she a lovely girl? And she'll grow up into a beautiful woman and have a life of ease. Yes, that's the important thing. A life of ease. Time to enjoy the world and... Here, you're waiting for some fudge, and I'm prattling away. Here it is. And a glass of cold milk to go with it.
Won't you join me?
Oh, no. My doctor would never permit it. I only prepare this sort of thing for people who drop in, like you.
I see. Smells very good.
If I have one speciality, it's divinity fudge. You'll find it heavenly. What's the matter?
Nothing. I just wanted to give the birds a bit first.
Don't. Birds don't eat fudge.
Oh, yes, they do. They love it. Come on, old chap. Have a...
No, you can't. Who are you?
I'll take that, Mrs. Enid. Thank you.
I needed money for the child. That's why I did it. I didn't want her to grow up into a tired rag of a charwoman. I wanted her to have a life of ease and the things I've seen other people have. You understand?
Yes.
Will she be taken care of?
You need worry, Mrs. Enid.
I wish now I hadn't tried to poison you. You might have visited us again as you promised, and we'd have been such good friends.